Shortly after I completed my first playthrough of this adorable little gator game, we got a trailer announcement on January 15th of last year. Mike Wazowki, the creator of Little Gator Game, was making a DLC for the game called Little Gator Game Into the Dark. Through this trailer, we learned that we were getting more characters, more quests, a brand new story, and an immersive experience that is just a tad bit smaller than the original app. And let me just say, it was truly a love letter to us, the fans, for caring so much about this game and showing the small crew that created this game that we loved this game for what it was. Showing the love for childhood and knowing when the chapter closes. Hello ninjas, welcome back. In today's video, I'll be giving my overall review of the DLC for Little Gator Game Into the Dark. I'll be going over my thoughts on this map, the design, the quest, the story it is telling, and the main 3 quests, and how well they provide in terms of enjoyment, storytelling, and how tell the overall message the creators want you to interpret. And of course, some extra stuff that I did not mention beforehand. Without further ado, let's enter the caves and provide my review of Little Gator Game's newest DLC, Into the Dark. This will be split into 5 parts. The first part is, what is this DLC about? This centers around Dark Lord, the one who is a villain and wants everything to go in his way, so you follow him down to the mines and confront him. In which then, him and his 3 minions scatter around the caves to set up shop and get minions to be on his side. Around the caves are 3 separate parts: the Big Roots, the Flowstone Caverns, and the mines. And of course, a starting point in which lampposts and stones are there to guide you. The mines have Martin and Emilio, the Flowstone Caverns have Jill and Amberly, and lastly, the Big Roots have Avery and Ruth. Avery, Martin, and Jill being your friends, and Dark Lord's friends being Emilio, Amberly, and Ruth. And yes, there is Dark Lord's hidden base build that we talked about in the 5th part, which is the overall message. And no, it will not be a 15-minute video about the story. I will ensure it will stay under 5 minutes. Alright, now that we have a base knowledge of the design of the DLC, let's further explore what is offered. Our first section we shall explore is the Big Roots. This is the most dense in terms of areas between the big 3. The quests you find here is not my favorite, though the ant twins were fun to see. As you break a route that they go in circles from 1 by 1 in the same circle, etc., they have you break a specific shortcut, so now that they force one of them to stop, allowing them to reunite with one another, which is it's touching to see. And this quote, probably because of the world beer. There's a claim that has you traverse him to the big root of the tree, but only going in water. If you touch the land at any moment, he then gets scared and it resets you back to the start of where the quest began. A unique set of task commands I did not think of before. You will notice that throughout these quests and NPCs and such, they actually have way more variety compared to the original game. Like the original game either had you go on like a fetch quest, a gathering quest, like a hide and seek type quest. This one went outside the box both time, and Val the Claim here was a great example. The best one, in my opinion, in this specific section with the quests and stuff, is the scary story with the snail, which he then just gets afraid of bugs at the end. Because, like, he hears your story, but then all he cares about is the bugs around the cave. His spot is by a campfire, which is fun, I enjoy it, and it gives you, like, the vibes of, like, telling these, like, scary stories. And the options you get, man, they are funny. Better at telling stories than me, but I can try. It all started when... Okay, what are we doing? Oh my god, dude, there was no more hook in the fridge. Whoa, I didn't even get to the scary part yet. Sorry, thought I saw a bug. Oh, what's this story? Oh, carry on. Alright, next what happens is a bunch of bugs start filling the room. There was a terrible eerie growl. There was a terrible eerie growl in the distance. Did I scare you? Nah, just got some bubbles over my eye. Was nothing, not for a tough customer like me. Keep going. It was just getting good. Okay. Well, the real scary part is that the monster still looks to this day. That was the scary part. Around the big tree, you can see lots of lush leaves that are hanging from the tree's roots, and around there are a ton of ponds you can splish splash around. I will say this is the easiest in terms of traversing since you have infinite stamina, as earned from the original game. You can use the tree roots to climb around and traverse around the area, finding cardboard, collectibles, and quests that are in need of finishing. The items you are given by the NPCs are rather interesting. You get a sticky shield that acts as an alternative trampoline, which, can be useful in some scenarios, but not a ton. You also get a jousting lance that's great for traversing since it has a double dash. Not to confuse with Mario Kart. That gives you the glowing gunk, which is a much better option than the Paint Blaster or the Space Blaster, since it shoots out 3 instead of 2 or 1. And yeah, I know you could just go pow pow pow, but it's better to shoot out 3 at once than just spam click. You'll see throughout the gameplay here that there are stars to the new items like the jousting lamps, the bubble wand, and many other items. This is because they are classes. These classes can be different options, whether that is quicker movement, enhanced weaponry like the lance, or just being Spider-Man with Arlen's spider webs. Alright, on to the main quest now. Ruth is tired, like really tired. Avery wants to build a space program, so what they do is play a game called Don't Wake the Bear. Think of it as spies and sci-fi are mixed together. Avery has you break the cardboard collected by Ruth, and as you move the bar, change from green to yellow to red. Do not wake him up. Once you break all of them, you then join your side and off to the next adventure. This was my least favorite since the rewards, the NPCs, the quests, and the main quests are much better than the Flowstone Caverns and the mines. But this does have the best looking design out of the 3. Now then, on to the Flowstone Caverns. The Flowstone Caverns consist of open dripstone caves and loads of water rivers. This area is open, allowing for tons of travel and exploration. The quests here were my personal faves, Bodhi being the best NPC in this entire DLC. He's like a pirate crab, and his quest has you draw something on the wall, like how the caveman did it back in the day. For this though, I'm gonna let my past self show off the awesomeness of this quest. Bodhi! Bro, what a name. Fine art, my scaly friend. The voice of the people in dark times like this. Like these. You ever heard of cave painting? You mean like caveman drawings? Yep, caveman, the best artist to ever do it. No fancy supplies, just pigment, stone, and technique. I'm gonna create that way, a box of chalk. Forget what I know and just go, Alas, I have a habit of making things a little too high concept. Dang, I don't know if I can help you. I'm not very good at ideas for art. Contre, Commodore, an outside perspective is just what I'm looking for. Why don't you pitch something simple and we can find out where it takes us to? Something simple, how about, let's do Yes! Oh my god, let's go. That is incredible. Power Fighters DVD. Okay, it's gonna sound kind of random, but earlier today I was talking to someone about Power Fighters, and now that's all I can think about when you say art. So that is my idea, Power Fighters on DVD. It's unorthodox, some might even say avant-garde. I might even able to work with it. Grab a stick of chalk, my friend, let's see what we can take us. It's not bad, even if I say so myself. Probably not what our ancestors would have done, but I like it anyway. Sure, is that Power Fighter doing their taxes? That's so funny. Okay, yes, it's a commentary on the inevitability of responsibility, even in escapist worlds of whimsy. Even with such simple idea and tools, I couldn't resist going high concept. My ancestors would be ashamed. Oh, well, I still think it was a neat painting. It is good that you said what you wanted to say instead of wanting to say it just right. Or how a caveman would say it, I guess. That's some pretty constructive insight, my friend. Are you sure you're not a high concept of artist? I don't know. Maybe I'm getting better. Well, in that case, take a penny for your thoughts and promise you'll keep sharing them. It is amazing they committed to the DVD bit that was shown in the original game. Seeing those things be appreciated, even in the DLCs, are so cool to see, especially if it's Power Fights on DVD. I love it. The Ant Queen and her friend quest are cool, sending notes back and forth because they are too afraid. That is how you solve problems, little gator. The drone one was rather fascinating. I do enjoy how obsessed the squirrel NPC is with the drones. And as you go throughout the map, you'll see him, placed as, poses for NPCs and such. It commits to the bit that he loves giving out the drones because he had the boxes full of it. So whenever you see him on the map, he'll have just these broken drones all over the place, suggesting, take one, take one, take one. Nice way to say, like, hey, I'm committed to this, and let's keep it going. The designs for all these NPCs are fantastic. The sawfish, the crab, the squirrel, the ant queen, the fox. This has the best designs. The items are fun too. The surfboard, the drone, the rubber ball that has a magical spell. It's really nice since this area is so open, it uses the items as a way to incorporate that into it. The drone, use it to fly around and find the nearby NPCs and quests that you need to complete. The surfboard, go ahead and ride them waves. The quarterstaff helps add to it since they want you to use them items in the open waters. And with the quarterstaff, you can fly all around with that circling. You can be able to hover between areas. If you need to get to one specific spot from over there, use the quarterstaff. If you need to check out the area, use the drone, etc., etc. To conclude this section, you and Jill need to teach that bully of a teen lesson. So you and your friends that you've gathered compete in a water race with Amberly. So what happens here is that you use your friends as a way to halt her progress because of how fast she is compared to you. You're not gonna be able to beat her. So the anything goes rules uses your advantage. Halt her so you can get up forward and allows you to win, and bang, quest complete. It's nice that once you concluded the quest, you have access to this huge waterfall where you can surf it up, glide, and just have a splendid time rolling around. My favorite section, as it has everything. I loved about the game, the NPC quest, the main quest, it had it all. This was fantastic of an area. Now, while yes, I do understand, I don't think this is the best main quest. I think it is better than the previous one I've mentioned. I think the one next actually is the best. But it has the stuff that I would want from it. You know, it has a lot of open area, it has a good design, the items you get from it are very fantastic. I just love the vibe of this. You know, it feels like you're at like a beach, for example. So, now that we went over this one, let's go talk about the last section, which is the mines. The mines consist of a huge pillar that you can ride all the way to and all the way back. From using the minecart that you earned from Drew the Turtle's quest. The quest is fine, just break some cardboard, break some stones. I do want to note, this was the very last one I completed, so I earned it extremely late. I think it was maybe like the third last quest I had to complete for this entire DLC. I think they intended you to complete Martin's quest first to have that minecart available, since that is the central focus that you've seen from the trailers and such before they came out. It wanted you to say, hey, use the minecart, travel with the minecart rails. The thing is though, most of the time I just use the surfboard and just jump to get across. Like I rode it with the surfboard and then I would just jump to get to the next rail. It is good to see how much minecart rails are around this area to entice you to practice using the minecart to traverse around. It's very good. In this section, you get a ton of lower elevated ceiling type areas. It feels like every time you go around, you hit a roadblock. Find a new area, then all of a sudden you go back to square one. You find the previous spot you were just at a minute ago because you go find a new area, then it brings you back to the same area. It's all confusing. There's a back area that you can find where there's a music player that just plays tunes in there. I mean, it's kind of cool. Another thing is this weird corridor, and then you see a quote, and then you get closer, and bang, 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 get scared. This is an adorable interaction between the two, and the best part is how the ghost kept the schmick. When everyone's back at the main base, you can see him hiding behind a wall to be ready to scare someone. The NPC poses for when you complete them are some of the best. Bodhi moves up and down whenever you're by the flowstone cavern, and just this little freaking tower over there. It's just so good every single time the poses are some of the best things in this game. And even the aftercrowds whenever you complete those quests too. Oh, they're amazing. Oh, and the ghost gives you a nice little ghost cover you can put on your head. It's actually pretty unique. I like it. You also cannot forget you get a propeller to fly. And one thing I enjoy about the mine section is that there's all these propellers you can use to fly around and get to higher elevated spots, which helps out a ton through these areas. I think there's about 3 propellers that are very low elevated to the ground, and because of how higher elevated you need to be in these areas, you can use the quarterstaff, you can use the propeller, you can use the glider effect to be able to fly yourself up above and reach those top areas much more quicker compared to like the minecart where it might take longer to you have to go equip it, and then you have to go through there, and then you might have to also climb it instead. It's much more better for traversing, which is very nice. And not to mention the star stuff, it is so much more quicker. My favorite quest in this section is Heron the Beetle and Kai the Porcupine. In this quest, you notice that they are playing hide and seek. Kai is hiding from Heron, and you have the option to either be a ratty bum and reveal where he is, or be a good person and not tell him. Of course, I did the right thing and not tell, because come on now, don't be a snitch. Come on, everyone knows rules of hide and seek. Don't be a snitch if you know who the hell they are, alright? And don't make any type of facial reactions. Throughout the post, you can see that it commits a bit of he's behind you! You can even tell him to look behind, but Heron can't tell why he keeps saying behind. So he just says, are you okay? It is amazing. The main quest here is you play out a movie, but be wrong? Whatever Emilio says, you should not do. Create this awesome, hilarious alternative story that becomes medieval pirates in just an awesome time. Like, imagine this, right? You start off with this castle slaying thing, you gotta take down the villain. Nope. Instead, you're taking the slugs that are supposed to be the enemies, and you go through the forest, and then you find a pirate with gold doubloons and a ship. Like, this is amazing. This was by far my favorite main quest because it was so cool to see everything be built, and heck, even Tom and Avery made an appearance. And I bet you probably Jill did as well if I failed a second time in a row. There were a ton of scenarios, and while yes, being wrong to not move on the story, but you can always replay them, which allows these sweet, sweet moments. You can always come back to them and play a different time. This area had a lot of tunnels, but their quests and the main quests were a ton of fun to complete. Plus, they had really good designs of their NPCs, and I love it, especially Kai kind here, oh, one of my favorite quests to ever complete. A quick note regarding Nod. Nod is similar to the junk raccoon in the original game. You collect these cardboards, you hand it to him, and he tells you facts about it and either grants you an item, for example, a wizard hat, or confetti. This was rather Like, I like the facts that I was told, but it was more out of the way. I was more focused on the quest and never needed to go out of my way to find these cardboards. I found all of them before I even completed the main story. The raccoon one I needed to go out of my way, but it wasn't as much. For example, the raccoon one, I had to say multiple times, oh, I need to go buy something from the raccoon. I forgot about that. Let me go do that real quick. So I had to go out of my way from doing all the quests and stuff, be like, oh, let me go buy that actually since it's there. And the paint blaster one's like, oh, I want to go get that. Like a hat items I actually wanted. Here, yeah, I know I had the wizard hat. I think that was actually really cool. I think it's my opinion the best hat in here. But it wasn't the fact of I need to go out of my way. It was kind of just like a, do this in the meantime. If you find them, they'll be kind of cool. Nod was cool and all, but I felt like there could have been more to what Nod had offered. Because most of the time, you either got confetti or an item, and most of the time, you get that from the other quests, you get that from other areas. I think it was fine. I don't think it was like the craziest bad thing. But for what it was worth, it's not like the worst thing to come out of the DLC. Lastly is the storytelling. What the story wanted you to come out with was that you cannot be the boss. You need to find a way to include everyone. Everything cannot go in your way and how it is dreamed to be. You need to work around everyone and adjust to their playstyles. The Dark Lord area helps because no one wanted to be his friend because of how bossy he was. If you adjust your style, you could be friends with anyone, but he refused to do so. And yet that is what they wanted, him to change his mind, to be able to be more worthy and accepting everyone, allow everyone to feel included. And the big sis part closes this entire thing. It's the fact of not wanting to give up. I want to include everybody, even when there might not be any hope left. Martin, Jill, Avery, all of them said to just leave him alone, but little Gator says the purpose of this game is for everybody to play and be who they want, even if that means the game needs to be adjusted. It's the inclusion of everyone. Dark Lord never wanted to be excluded, he just wanted to be happy. He wanted to feel appreciative. You can see little Gator worried and sad. He thinks it would be his fault. Someone is left out of the game. Then Big Sis mentions that giving space and time is what is important. Knowing that you still care for them, even when you can't do what you want them to do, is okay. Big Sis replies, hey, earlier on the swings, I feel like you were in a similar spot. You showed me you cared. Then you have me some space. Did that feel like giving up? Because I thought it was really brave. Further supporting this idea of being brave and knowing when it needs to be closed. Yes, the game was all for her, but knowing when a chapter needs to be closed and needs an ending is important in terms of growing up. It is also good to note that when people need space, it is their choice. They might need time for themselves after what happened to one another. They want that time alone to just reset and allow for calmness after what happened, to calm down the situation, to not allow it to become more escalated. Here, little Gator used Big Sis as a way to figure out what to do because nothing was working and he felt as if he was failing the game. Big Sis asks what little Gator should do. He replies, I think I should go have fun and be extra nice to my friends. They deserve it. All this time he felt like he might have been forcing his act upon them, bossing around, but they know it made him happy, so he wants to return the favor towards them, mentioning how as long as they are nice, there will be space for themselves too, and so will for myself. This helps more development towards Big Sis and Little Gator. It's the way that they connected more and more closer throughout this game. The fun, the journey, the boss, the items, all of it. It allowed little Gator to have a different perspective on the game. Knowing that it had a toll on her allowed her little Gator to show how much she cared for it and cared for everyone to be included, and making sure that Big Sis wasn't so stressed out about trying to make the game enjoyment for him. He just cared about having little Big Sis with him for that entire time, enjoying the moments that they had before they get older and having to close the chapter on one another. Now for Dark Lord, little Gator asks how to be a hero. Then we see a change in emotion from Dark Lord. No, nobody would believe that. I would just mess it all up. Little Gator acknowledges that he was being a big bossy. But finding a workaround is the best solution, keeping that forever lasting friend not together. We learn that his name is Buddy. Little Gator then creates a new story to teach Dark Lord that you can create it whatever you like. There's no set rules for it. There's no set command you have to do it. You can change it however many times you want to make sure it's the perfect one that you enjoy. That's what he did not know. He felt as if there's one specific way you have to do it. You can't change characters. You can't be that. You can't be this. You have to be that specifically. He just needs someone to acknowledge that for him. It could be changed to whatever you like. Just like the movie main quest. That's a great way for a connection with this. It has you not follow the script because that isn't the purpose of the game. It's for everyone to be able to play how they want, allowing everybody to play in their unique style, creating this awesome game with tons of opportunities. In this scene, you can see Dark Lord is accepted through Little Gator, showing that people can change for the better. Being able to accept someone for who they are is the most important thing you can learn out of others. Overall, this DLC taught you the importance of inclusion, being able to include people into your group, your game, whatever the case it may be. There will be a way to work around with what they want, and you can find similar interests towards one another. It is the importance of finding happiness in both yourself and others. That is what makes memories. Finding enjoyment from one another and being able to find that in everybody. The quest, the design, the items, all of it creates a worthy send-off to a fantastic game I and many others will love for years to come. Thank you Mike Wazowki and his creators for making a game that is special to me and many others and close to my heart. This is truly a perfect 10 out of 10 game and my new favorite game of all time. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. This was amazing DLC and I hope you all get a chance to play it. Next week we'll be doing our monthly character deep dive with Mike Wazowki. We'll explore how he overcame doubt and fought over failure after working for everything he wanted. It will be about monster diversity specifically as a heads up. As always, make sure you like, subscribe, share this video to your friends, and subscribe to me and enjoy my videos. Hit that little bell so you get notified for when I go live and upload. All credit goes to Mike Wazowki and his creators for making this wonderful game and DLC. Their links will be in the top description, as well as names in the end credit screen. I also like to note, this will not be the final video. I'll be making a Little Gator game. I have like 10 different ideas I can name for easily about this game. So in the coming months, maybe once every 2 months we'll come back to this game and we'll do either a review on it, a ranking on it, maybe I'll rank the cardboards, maybe I'll rank the NPC quests, the designs of it. Something related to Little Gator, it will come right back. I'm not ending this game like this. There's plenty more where this came from, okay? So stay tuned for that, please. Thank you again for watching. This is Ninja Joe signing out. Peace!